Alrighty, well, what a day. We're all lined up to go and see a van this afternoon, and we did exactly that, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll sort of whack this video up before I whack a few others up, so if it sounds like it's sort of a bit out of sync with the other ones, that's probably because I've whacked this one up first. Yeah, Friday afternoon. Oh, we're trying to book a truck for Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Oh, God, here we go. Would you be available to work? And I said, I've got to go and look at this thing. And then he comes out later, well, we've just got to load this one truck, and we'll pay you 4 hours. And basically 3 hours time and a half, and the last hour double time. Overloading one semi. Might only take 45 minutes. Yeah, no worries. Okay. So then it changes. Well, the truck driver said he can't get there till 10 o'clock. And then 2 minutes later he comes out, well, actually, somewhere between 10 o'clock and lunchtime, and I've arranged to go talk to this guy at 1 p.m. Yeah, and there's no way, there's a town further out from me. There's no way I'm getting home by 1, let alone further out. So anyway, yeah, long and short of it, I'll be there at 7 and I'll be doing computer work, whatnot. So anyway, you turn up at 10 and hopefully the truck will, and we'll just bumble around with a couple other things till then. So I rock up. Interestingly enough, I'm going to go and get it tomorrow. I've seen a projection screen TV. You know, one of the ones with the big Fresnel lens. Fresnel, that's the one. Great big rectangular lens that's like a giant magnifying glass. I've seen these things melt brass locks. I often use them for cooking. You can fry eggs with them without a problem in the world. You just make up like a little stand, almost like these little clothes dryer stands, and mount this thing on it. You have it like you can tilt it a little bit like some of those whiteboards that you can flip right around. And you can, anyway, I'm going to go get that tomorrow because that's only just around the corner from work, literally just around the corner from work. So I'm going to go and get that TV tomorrow. Someone's dumped it out there, and it's obviously a dead horse. They've got a bit of shitty-ass MDF, medium density fiberboard, with a bunch of frickin', like, the damn screws you put roof sheets in with, holding the MDF on the top of it, so she's a dead horse, and it's dumped out there in the hopes that somebody will take it, and by hell I'll take it if it's got a Fresnel lens in it. So I'm going up to deal with that tomorrow. Turns out one of my aunties has had a frickin' heart attack as well, so my parents are going up to see her. Not good. Too many cigarettes, too many years. She's the auntie, I may have mentioned it before, she's a little bit simple. Not from the hillbilly side of the family, from the other side of the family. Yeah, because of her simple mind, you couldn't really explain to her what damage she was doing by smoking. And they also found on admission to the hospital that she had pneumonia as well. And that was part of it, and dehydration in the hot weather because, it's hot, but she doesn't really think, I got to drink more water. Just not bright like that. Never been bright, really. Anyway, some others do have them, and she's got a lot of... and she may not be living... She might be nursing home bound, it sounds. Anyway, parents are going up to see her. So there's been a lot of phone calls this afternoon. Anyway, as for this truck, and my supervisor, I'll be there at 7 a.m. doing some computer work. And I go in there, 10 o'clock, and I see the truck rolling up at 10 to 10. I thought, beauty. So I thought, stuff it, I'm getting in the damn gate before this guy does. Shot in the gate, bang, park my car. And then there's this van rocks up, and the woman hops out of the van. She's walking around in the car park. It's only a fairly small car park. And I go, hey, are you looking for someone? She says, yeah, I'm after blah, blah. It's the name of the salesman. I said, oh, yeah, he's in here. And I think he's here. Sure as eggs. He's ute, pickup truck, the 4x4 thing. That's parked right there in his usual spot. So I opened it, sure as eggs, he got the front door open. I said, yeah, there he is in there. So he's in his office playing around with his blooming, he's got a lot of paperwork to do because he's sales manager. And so she's sort of gone in there and, yeah, sure as eggs, she's with the guy with the truck. It's his wife or some bullshit. And so she's helping, you know, strap it all down with him. And the salesman comes out and he goes, we only got you. We got anyone else? I said, oh yeah, the supervisor was going to be here at 7 o'clock and he reckons he's going to do stuff on the computer till then. He goes, oh, bullshit. He's on friggin' drugs. If he thinks he's got anything to do. Anyway, we're there, 5 to 10. Supervisor pulls in the gate. So anyway, we load this truck up. It ended up taking 2 hours. Couldn't quite fit stuff on. He's going, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And I'm thinking, I said, well, you're going to get another small truck just to take this shit because it's all the way to friggin' Adelaide. In actual fact, it's going to be Adelaide's tallest building and the 3rd tallest building in the country. And that's what it's for building this. And he turns around and goes to me, well, we don't really need to pack all these other ones. We almost fit it all on, but we're a few inches short on something. Something else is going to go on, but a little bit precarious. And he goes, don't worry about it. I said, what, are you going to send another truck just for these 2 things? And he goes, oh, nah. There's actually 2 more semis full. So we're sending 1 big rig full of shit. There's going to be 2 more big rigs full of shit this coming week. So they're getting all this shit a week and a half before Christmas and trying to pour all this concrete and mount all this shit on the side of this fucking beam, all the bullshit they got to do to build this thing. And I'm like, oh man, good luck with that. But yeah, so anyway, I rang the guy up. I got on the road. You know, I've done my 2 hours work, been paid 4 hours, you know, 3 hours time and a half, 1 hour double time, which is bloody good for what I've done. just you know, just whack things on with a forklift and work out how we're going to fit it all on. I've gone and seen this guy with this van and, oh yeah, she done a few miles, 320,000 Ks, and I rang the mechanic a couple of days beforehand and I've said, what tips have you got to tell if this thing's been fucking, you know, if it's going to be shit or it's going to be good? And he said, take it for a drive and you'll really be able to tell just by the way it runs. So I took my old man along as well, and he told me, you know, I said, I know you got to check the dipstick and see if there's any white on there. I know that you look in the coolant, and the coolant was as clean in this thing. Dipstick was, you know, the oil was, you know, it was getting near a service, but it was only to be expected for a car that's not too far off a service. Yeah, no problems with it. But my mechanic told me take the filler cap off, like the fuel, the oil filler cap on the engine, like on the rocker cover. So I took that off, and he said if there's any shit under there, it's a sign the engine's really, you know, just about fucked. Well, I took it off, and I'm looking at it, and it's got like this little groove bit, well, not a groove, like a little lump that sticks out. And it looks, honest to God, like he's got a rag in there and he's wiped the underside of the bloody cap. But right where this little friggin' lump sits up, it's all banked up against the side of the lump. And it's like, and then I'm looking harder at the cap and I swear to God, I can see the fucking streak marks from where he's twisting this rag around the inside of the fucking, underneath the damn oil filler cap. And yet he hasn't got it right out of the corners of this little lump, and there's still quite a bit of shit. And this is as the guy's standing right there. And then he's seen me take the radiator cap off, and it's as clean as clean. You know, it's perfectly clean. Even the reservoir, perfectly clean. You know, no problem with the dipstick. No head gasket about to blow, no coolant getting through into the oil or oil getting into the coolant. Okay. But as I've got this oil filler cap off, I can see one of the rockers on this engine, and the fucking shit sludged up. Like, I'm not saying it was 1/8 of an inch, but it would have been 1/16 of an inch. It would have been 2 mil worth of shit just fucking caked on this thing. Probably more than 1/16 of an inch. Sitting on this rocker, and I thought, oh shit. She's a high mileage engine. She's a high mileage engine. You know, he's not lying. You know, 320,000 Ks. And when we got it going, it's on trip computer, and my old man's going, well, just push that button a couple of times. And I said, I can't see the frickin' odometer. And he said, well, it'll be a trip computer. So push the button a few times, boom, 321,000. Okay then, rightio. And then my old man, we got a couple of miles out, my old man goes, just pull over. And I said, when it first started, you could feel it shaking a bit. And I said, well, maybe it's just missing a little bit or something. I thought, geez, this is not good. And he goes, well, we'll drive for a while and see. And I reckon it might have been dirty spark plugs or something, because we drove for a while and it idled all right. But he done this other trick. The old man got out and we popped the hood, and he goes to take the oil filler cap off, and I'm thinking he's going to get spattered with oil or something. And I said, do you want me to turn the engine off? He goes, no. And as he takes the cap off, as he gets to the top, it's sort of like, and the last thread comes off, it's sort of like, poof, it almost sort of, poof, almost fucking spits the cap at him. Not hard, but it's just sort of like, poof. It's like there's a little bit of pressure there and it wants to pop up. And he said to me, you see that bullshit? And he said, and he goes to put it back down. A little bit of, pressure as he just goes to seat it back in. And then twist up, poof. And as he had it off, there's a slight amount of light smoke just coming out. He says, see that pressure build up there? He said, that means the rings are fucked. And as it goes on the compression stroke, it's going past the rings into the sump. And then you've got channels from the sump to the rocker cover to basically let the oil in the rocker cover drain back down or whatever, your ventilation between your sump and your rocker cover. And that's the pressure coming from the sump into the rocker cover, which will almost spit your blooming thing off. So the engine was basically fucked. Now, as for the van, this guy's got it in darkish light photos, and he's got other ones where it's brightish light photos, and, when you got there, oh, fuck me. Every goddamn panel had a dent except probably the driver's side fender. Everything else. The two front doors seemed to be fine. The left-hand fender, because we're right-hand drive, left-hand fender had a ding in it. The right-hand fender didn't. The bonnet didn't. The two front doors didn't. But the left-hand fender, the sliding door, both fucking sides, left and right, the tailgate, they're all fucking dents. There's one where he's even gone and got a tech screw, like the blooming screws you use to put this shit on, but more like the steel to steel. He's put it straight through the side of the van and then taken it out, and you can see a little fucking gap through the little thing. Fuck me. Oh man, she'd had a fucking life, this thing. And acceleration. I didn't know acceleration could be that shit. I mean, I've driven diesel trucks that, were really sort of, I thought they were sluggish when I drove diesel trucks. And this thing was so, poor man. I didn't even think I was going to get to 60 miles an hour. I'm not joking. Like I'm going, and we're getting up around fucking 45, 50 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, is this bastard going to, I'm going like 53 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, is this fucker even going to get up to 60? Oh man, it had the most god-awful acceleration I've ever come across. But apparently the engine in it is the same as a little Toyota Corolla. And so is the transmission. And it was a good price, but it was a good price because it had done its run, It was one of these vehicles that you hang on to and put another fucking 10, 20,000, maybe 30,000 miles into, and then just it goes to scrap metal, basically. Mum goes, you can get parts off it. No, I'm not too sure, because the engine's, that's about fucked. Recondition the transmission. Didn't see any receipts. We start going through, once we'd got this thing mild up the road, we start going through the fucking glove box to see if we can find any of the receipts. No receipts. For nothing. Not even for these last bloody grocery shop. It was, and it changed from, I got rode with you a year ago to we got it 3 years ago, and it's like, what you're trying to say is it actually went 5 years ago, but yeah, here we fucking go. They'd hit it with, I'd like to say forklift, but being a forklift driver, I know it's not a forklift, but it sort of looked a bit like damage I've seen that people can do with forklifts. It was hit really bad under where the sliding door was, and honestly, they'd smacked it in, I'm not joking, it was like fucking 4 inches, like just one point that's probably only half an inch wide, and it had just been banged like fuck. And it actually dented in 4 inches. Now, this is like under the sliding door type thing. And I was thinking, fuck me, if they say that's some sort of body damage or chassis that needs to be done for a roadworthy, oh, fuck. Then you got to go to a qualified welder who deals with, you know, maybe race vehicles or roll cages for fucking race vehicles, or someone who's qualified and put an engineer certificate on it, and how much, well, there goes $600 over one fucking part being welded, you know. I just thought, fuck me, if they see that, like it was so badly hit in that the door seal was in with the dent, because it was underneath the door seal. And I thought, this door's not even going to be fucking watertight, because it's pushed in 4 inches, you know. I'm just thinking, fuck. This thing, you know, really, it's one of these vehicles that you hold onto and you drive till it's fucked. Now, as for the transmission being reconditioned, well, it's interesting because I got down on my hands and knees on the fucking gravel on the side of the road and it was actually in some great big driveway for someone's fucking farm, like a big farm. So we're leaning down looking at this frickin' thing, and all the bottom of the oil pan for the transmission is all covered in a thin layer of brown oil, and I can see the mosquitoes stuck to the fucking oil on the bottom of the oil pan of this transmission. And I thought, oh right, okay. Apparently he replaced the rear main seal and he reconditioned the transmission. Well, how come there's all this brown oil all over the bottom of the fucking transmission? I didn't realise that my father pulled the dipstick on the automatic transmission. To be honest, I won't have it any other way. But he pulled the dipstick on the fucking thing, and he said, instead of being red, she was sort of going a little bit sort of brown, and he said, it's burning, you know. It's burning oil or whatever the fuck it's doing. When they say it's, you know, burnt, which I believe, I suppose means it. I can't remember. I think it's actually bits of your fucker. You guys will know what it means anyway. It's either burning oil or it's bits of your bloody, your bands, as they call them, fucking starting to rub off and disintegrate. Not good at all. So anyway, we dodged a bullet and we left that one behind. So yeah, interesting. But I'll do a little waffle on some of these other ones I've seen. I missed another one that I'll talk about, but I'll do a second video on that. And a couple of these ideas I've got for people movers, and I've got my eye on a people mover that's done fuck all. Actually, it's spot on 100,000 miles is what it's done. Maybe a couple of hundred over 100,000 miles. And yeah. $4,000 with number plates, roadworthy, fucking non-road cost, a whole lot, $4,000. So, down from $5,000. They've dropped the price, I've noticed, because I've seen it on there a couple of times. So, I might be having a look at that. But anyway, I'll make another video on all that.